Am I live yet? Oh, ugh, my hair looks a mess after being tangled in the garden. So hi guys. I just thought that I should quick go live and let my viewers know what's going on. And my phone is sliding. Sorry about that. Getting on top of mail, and we have a missing cat. So yesterday, some of them, Frodo was up on the roof because Ninja Kitty. We've seen how he gets up there now. We know how he gets up when he's gotten outside of the house with Gimli. He literally parkours. He goes from the basement doors, which angle up, and then above that, there's a window with a really small windowsill and brick. Hops up onto that, and then he gets his butt wiggled just the right way, and he leaps, but he leaps straight forward and then pushes with his back legs off the side of the house, same side the window is on, and then pushes himself up at an angle to get up onto the edge. He grabs the edge of the kitchen porch roof. That's how he's getting up to my room, to the window outside my room. And so that's how he's getting up there. So he was up there, and I was trying to get him in. But then Arwen and Elrond, I got bum rushed. Okay, so I got him in, and Aragorn, Arwen, and Elrond bum rushed me out the door, out the window. And those little suckers were out on the kitchen porch roof. Not normally a problem. They've been out there before. They usually lay down, don't cause any fuss. They just like to lay in the sunlight for a little bit, and then they come back in. Well, we had a problem. The neighbor was out, and the dad was home. He's not usually home. And he was out with the girls. And to entertain the little ones, he set off some firecrackers. I could wring his neck. It scared all three cats, because after all, he's letting them off. They may be up on a kitchen porch roof, but he set these off basically about 15 feet away from them on the ground. Scared the daylights out of all of them. So I open the window. Aragorn has enough sense, bolt through the window, get into the house. Arwen was up on the top roof, and so was Elrond. They come down, and Elrond hops down. Then he goes and jumps down. I was scared to death he'd broken a leg. He jumps down straight to ground level. Now, at this point, I know she's up there, but I don't know where. And it didn't help that after the after he set off those firecrackers, then it set off Charlie, who ran through the brush, all the overgrowth in the back corner of my yard, and found out that his brother was hiding in there because he was going to come eat some food. And so he starts howling like only an unfixed male cat can, which then freaks out Arwen. So while I'm already on the ground looking for Elrond, I figure she's safe on the roof somewhere. No, she gets so panicked because she's already panicked from hearing the firecrackers go off. Now she's panicky because she hears all this caterwauling that Charlie's doing to intimidate his starving brother, that she leaps down to the kitchen porch roof, leaps down to the cellar doors, and then disappears. Just bolts out into the undergrowth, and we haven't seen her since. Now that was yesterday. Yesterday about 3 in the afternoon. We can't find her. She's never been out of the house. She doesn't make noise. She doesn't meow. I have been trying for a month. I've been meowing at her. When she finally got it, she's only gotten it like the last 4 or 5 days, where she's now talking to me, where she will meow at me every morning when I get up. That's so her making any kind of noise is a recent thing. But I have been awake all night. It is now already past 3 in the afternoon. I haven't had any sleep. My heart is beginning to go, yeah, what are you doing? So I promised Mike. Mike had to go into the office late. So I promised him I would try to take a nap. And because if I don't, we don't want my heart kicking in arrhythmia, which it's been known to do. So there's a Facebook page for Lost Cats of Delaware County, and you can put in exactly what area of the county. I put in 2 photos that are fairly recent of Arwen. One shows that tiny little white mark that's on her chest. I mean, tiny. It's not even as big as a dime. But it shows that, and then I put the description that she does have a collar on and what the collar looked like, but that don't try to approach her. Just text, just message me through Facebook, and I will come to wherever you thought you saw her, because she's not used to people. She hides whenever anybody's in the house. She'll bolt if anybody tries to approach her. It'll just scare her more. So it's better if they just let me come and find her. I've made flyers, and Mike said we'll put them up when he gets back, after I've had a nap, because at this point I've been awake more than 24 hours, and that's not exactly a smart thing to do when you have a stress-induced arrhythmia with your heart. So I've had some Gatorade to fix my electrolytes, and now I need to go take a nap. But I would like all of you, send out a prayer to the universe, send out a prayer to the good Lord that we find her. I've even started tearing apart where all the ostrich ferns are, because Mike thought he was sure he heard a meow somewhere in there. I'm sure he heard a meow, but I don't think it was Arwen. I have walked around all the blocks around me. That's what I would do. I'd come home, I'd rest, I'd get up, I'd go do it again, and I'd go around a different block each time. I'm ready to cry. I'm just so worried about her, because she is the timid one. She is the quiet one. She's also not microchipped, but at least she's got a collar on. So just keep your prayers going that we find her, because the longer it takes to find her, the less likely. And I'm really worried, because if she goes 2 streets that way, 22nd Street is a very, very busy street. There's cars that park and line. It's all row homes on that street, brick row homes, and the alleyways don't have enough parking. So, there's cars on both sides, and people fly down that street because there's no stop signs. So if she gets over there, I can't even think about that. And if she gets 2.5 blocks that way, that's 352. So that's the beginning of 352. So that's another very, very busy roadway. So I'm really, really worried about her. But like I said, I have gone around the house. I have torn apart my flower bed in the front, just in case she was hiding in behind the azalea, or hiding where the ivy was. I've got blisters all down my arms. Not because of poison ivy, but because I am allergic to regular ivy. I didn't care. I've been tearing through it, seeing if there were any hidey holes she could be hiding in. Mike has helped me. Yeah. I mean, I think I took out ostrich fern is huge, and I've got a ton of it. In spite of the fact that I had purged all but 5 plants in 2019. And now um, I took out a 4-foot long by 3 feet wide strip of it just to clear to the neighbor's fence line, because that's where he thought he heard a meow. But then after Mike left and I was sitting out back, here comes One-Eyed Jack from further behind me. He could have been the one in the weeds on the other side of the fence. And then when he realized it was Michael, could have taken off and went behind the neighbor's shed. So I don't know that Mike heard Arwen. I do know that we pretty thoroughly tore that section apart and did not find a frightened kitty, because unfortunately that's what they'll do. They will hunker down and they'll stay quiet. So it's hard to get them out. And I want my girl back. I want my girl back. Aragorn has been just usually following me. He's finally asleep on the windowsill in the bathroom. Every time I'm in the house, he wants me to hold him. And Elrond, when I found him, he was on the wood porch, which we call it that because it's the right below Mike's room, because that used to be where we stored the firewood when for the winter when we were kids. Now it's got a bunch of furniture and bits and pieces on it. So he was way back in there, and he didn't start crying out until I was even with that porch. And but at least him, I had seen where he went. But or at least I thought I had seen. I knew I had seen him like get around the corner of the house. He went to the front and went around the house and then back up on that porch and hid. He was a basket case when I found him. He was shaking. Remember, he's smaller than she is, just barely. And so he was on me like white on rice yesterday. Every time I was in the house, he's asleep right over here. I don't know if you can see little ears here. Hi, baby. But he won't. He if I move, he moves. So please keep my cats in your prayers, because I just don't know where she is, and I've been awake. Mike's pretty sure it's been over 30 hours, which is not good for me. I'm sure it's been over that, because she got out about 3:30 yesterday, and it's 3:34 now. And yeah, I mean, it does stink, especially like if it were Frodo, who gets out on Gary regularly, and once he never leaves the backyard, and when he's had enough, he gets up onto the kitchen porch roof and meows at my window and wakes me up for me to get him in. Anytime Aragorn's gotten out, he immediately regrets it. And is usually hiding. If he gets out the front door, he usually, first car that goes by, he's then hiding under the bench waiting to get back in. Or if he gets out in the backyard, the first thing that spooks him, then he's hiding under the kitchen porch to get in. So I have no qualms about him. Elrond does not. Elrond has been quite happy, and before this, so has Arwen, to just lay out there on the roof and just soak up the sunlight, get some fresh air. It's not been a problem. But that jackass with the fireworks, and then the cat, then Charlie howling, it just freaked those two out. It freaked Aragorn out. He bolted back in through the window, but the other two were just so scared that they just fight or flight. They chose flight. And we just still haven't found her. So please say some prayers that we find Arwen. Right at this point now, it's been 24 hours, and I need to get a nap. Mike was doing one last walk around a couple of blocks before he had to leave, and because it's 3:30 now, so he's been out there. He's probably left by now because he's been out there for half an hour walking around, seeing if he could find her. We even have one lone half a bag of treats left, and he's so funny. We're outside last night in the dark, and Gimli's out there with us, and he's not normally allowed outside in the dark. And the doctor's with us, and then Snowball shows up. He's not going to miss the fact that he's hearing somebody shake a bag of treats. Now, this is around midnight. And Mike's telling all three cats, because he's like, cat distribution system's got to be good for something. If any one of you three find Arwen and bring her home, you get the whole bag. And he's looking down at him and shaking the bag. They didn't bring her home, but it would have been so funny. It would have been hysterical if they had. So fingers crossed that we find her soon. She's just probably hunkered down. And the best bet is if she hears me and meows, because so far I'm the only one she talks to usually. She doesn't meow for Gary. And she's only like I said, only in the last couple days finally gotten the idea, finally, after working with her for a month, to meow to me to get her to talk. So the sad part is that only Gimli and Elrond are microchipped, because originally they were the only ones we were going to keep. And none of the others are microchipped, and we got to get that done. Forgotten Cats will do it at a discount, but it was a matter of having time and funds. So hopefully we'll find her, and I'm exhausted. So if you don't see me tonight, you'll know why. It's because I'm either finally getting some sleep. Hopefully we'll have found her, or I'm out looking for her again. It's kind of easier at night because there's not as much traffic, so you can hear if she does meow. She's not very loud, so I can hear better. So fingers crossed. But I wanted to give you an update so that you knew I'm okay. It's just I didn't disappear on you without good reason. With any luck, we'll find her after I take a nap. So, because then I can go walk again and see if I can find her. Yeah, and especially when it's the cat that is the most timid sweetheart. She's an absolute doll. She doesn't cause any problems. She's a darling little thing and has the softest fur. It's like silk. But I just keep getting worried that when I'm going to walk down one of these busier streets and find the body. But hopefully we don't find her that way. So Mike did take some of the I'm getting brain fried. He took some of the posters to post up as he went around on his. Oh, thank you, Jen, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. He took some of the flyers out to post on his walk around, and when I wake up, I'll take some more with me and put some up. See if we can find her. More eyes that help find her, the better. But it does say on the poster, it has my phone number, and it has on it, just let us know if you've seen her, because if you try to approach her, she'll run, because she's timid. If it were Gimli, he'd come right up and let you pet him, or at least stay within a certain distance of you, but he'd watch you. But her, every time my sister's here, she hides. She doesn't. You just don't see her. So And it's rough. And I'm rambling. So I guess that means I should get myself the hell to bed before my arrhythmia kicks in again. It already gave me one little hiccup. Can't have too many more of them because I have no meds. They used to have Xanax to calm that down. And the doctor I'd gone to before wouldn't prescribe it for me, even though it's in the file. She never read the file. So, all right. Thank you again for the super sticker. Thank you so much for that, Jen. Any of these buy me a tease and super stickers, I think at this point, since the roof is done, I'm gonna make sure. Oh, thank you, Bonnie, that all that gets set aside to specifically get the last of them microchipped, since it's definite we're keeping them. We didn't do that because we thought we were gonna adopt out 3 of them. And 8 adoptions fell through. And the only one that actually made it to a house, for those of you that hadn't heard that story, was Frodo. He was there for 3 days. Kids loved him. Parents loved him. Grandma comes to visit for the weekend and freaks out because he's an all black cat. So he came back. And, so. And Gimli and Aragorn are a bonded pair, so it became evident you couldn't separate those 2. So we tried to get Arwen and Frodo adopted out. And couldn't get any takers for her because she'd panic anytime it was a different person, that it wasn't me or Michael. She would panic. So, of course, they thought, she was going to be a problem. So she made it known she wasn't going anywhere. But that's why it's just so heartbreaking that, girl, where are you hiding and why are you not coming out for us now? So I get it that she's got to be terrified, but I've tried everything. Food, treats, just not finding her yet. Hopefully she'll get to the point where she's hungry enough that she'll come out the next time I walk around calling for her. So if you don't see me tonight, don't worry. It's either I'm out looking for her still or I'm getting another nap in, because I can't do this being awake this many hours, because it's been probably about 30 hours now that I've been awake. So that's where things are right now. Fingers crossed, prayers to the gods, to the universe. We got to find the girl. All right, so I will see you. I'll try to go live on Sunday afternoon to make up for not being alive on Thursday. Maybe we could do a work with me. Mike wants to take me to a flea market. I don't want to go to a flea market. I don't have any money left. I did one little thing. I did one little Goodwill run just because. So, yeah, I'm trying to take care of myself. It's hard. Last night was just so stressed out that I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept thinking of what happened to their mother right in front of the house. So I have some meditation stuff to listen to try to get me to sleep, to stay asleep. I made a special playlist. I have one. If I do one of these Mary Kate meditations off of YouTube, and then I have one that is all lakefront sounds. So you hear the crickets and you hear the lake, the waves of the lake, and it just reminds me so much of Camp Barton, which sadly no longer exists as a Boy Scout camp. But that was such a fantastic place, and it's such a great sound to fall asleep. So I'm hoping that will help me relax enough to nap. That, and I got a few ashwagandha gummies. I wish I had some other gummies, but I don't have a script for those. But anyway, these will help you relax a little bit too. So I'll keep you posted. If we find her, I'll let you know right away, but keep your fingers crossed and your prayers going. Goodbye, everybody.